hang on, it'll only take 15 minutes to do it or something. And it's a long race, anything can happen.
Graham Crosby retains his sense of humour, and let's hope he rejoins the race. But at the moment, it's the number 17 Ford Mustang. This is what it's like in the office. And a tremendous battle going on between the Volvo and the BMW for second and third. This is Paul Adams in fifth place, leading the 1600 Group A class, and due for his pit stop to hand over to Alan Wolf. You can see some damage on the front corner of the car as the mechanics go in to change the wheel nuts, 4 in total, compared to the single ones on some of the other Group A cars. Onboard jacks as well. A new set of tyres goes on. The extra tape secures the bonnet. And Alan Wolf gets ready to leave the pits to do his stint in the incredible Corolla.
We will only have one more stop, hopefully, and that'll be a driver change and a fuel stop, and that'll last us till the end of the race.
Otherwise, you're quite happy with the way the Toyota's going?
Oh, it's going perfectly, yeah. We've got no complaints at all.
Mark Petch in the Volvo. Third position, Trevor Crowe, closing ever so much each lap down the long back straight. The BMW is just starting to peg the Volvo back in, but Trevor Crowe is absolutely superb under brakes and inches ever so close to the rear bumper of the Swedish taxi. There's the race leader, the 17 John Andrew Ford Mustang. There's second, the number 7 Volvo. And the BMW menacingly close. The lead car prepares for a pit stop. Let's hope they get it right this time.
The whole race is really won and lost in the pits. We have 4 doing wheels, 1 doing an air jack system which lifts the car very, very quickly, and 3 doing fuel. I count 4 men with their hands in the air, and I can see that the refuelers have stopped. I'm out of the way of that car, or it'll run me over.
Dick Johnson heads from the pits, but there's more drama in the Mustang crew. The fuel filler has been left in the back of the car. This is going to cost him some time. The officials are very quickly on the job, and Mark Petch has gone through into the lead, and Trevor Crowe's up into second position. That costly incident was to cost the Johnson team $200.
Well, I'm not happy with it. Well, there'll be no fuel there.
There'll be no fuel there. It'll evaporate within 30 seconds. Very, very foolish. What were you doing telling the driver to go, Donna?
I didn't tell anyone to go.
Well, someone was telling him to go. Yeah, not someone to go.
The 17 Mustangs on their journey again, but already Johnson is slowing. The earlier race leader has got problems. Neville Crichton waits patiently. Johnson returns the car to the pits. It's up on the air jacks, but there's a very disappointed touring car champion in there.
The gearbox actually jammed in low gear, and that was it. He had to come back from the hairpin in low gear.
And how did you rectify the problem?
A couple of big screwdrivers and a couple of good men on the bottom, they got it out.
Johnson rejoins. He's got a big job ahead of him. And Trevor Crowe in his look for the lead has overshot. There's the Jaguar, 4th place overall and running strong. Crosby continues a brilliant drive up through a very low grid position. There's the leading Toyota. In 4th position, Paul Adams and Alan Wolf. The Drinkrow brothers. The Willie James Toyota in 7th position, 3rd in class. But the Jaguar's back in the pits again. Smoke billowing from the rear end of the car. The diff has gone. Their race is run. Dick Johnson, 3rd position. A big deficit, but really hauling. The Volvo's had a driver change. Francevic's in the car. But there's the Volvo. The Volvo's out of the race. Their race is gone as well.
Yeah, something in the back end, I think, but you can never be sure until the mechanics have checked it. But it smelt pretty oily, and so it's probably a crown wheel and pinion.
Did you get any prior warning as to what the problem was?
No, it just happens bang like that when those things go.
Another win eludes Robbie Francevic and Mark Petch. The Crosby-McKinnon car, still the long, hard drive up through the field, but doing it very well indeed. And for the first time in the race, the Longhurst Crow BMW has taken the lead. Dick Johnson's fans cheer him on. He's up into second position and really charging. Our leader, Tony Longhurst. Graham Crosby playing motorcycle races, lifting a wheel again. A grand drive during the last hour to come from near nowhere to up to 6th. There's the incredible Toyotas. Paul Adams at the wheel. And the Willie James car in 3rd and 4th position.
It's a very big surprise. We bought some new tyres the first time we've used them, and mainly we've got bits of old engines left over that we've just stuck one together. And it seems to be going better than anything we've ever built in the past. So as long as it goes for another 40 minutes, we'll be quite happy.
Moments later, the Willie James challenge ended with engine failure. Longhurst still leads in the BMW from Johnson, making a chicane of the slower cars. Longhurst continues in the Archibald BMW as he makes the approach toward the start-finish straight once again. 30 minutes remaining and Longhurst appears to have the race under his belt, but Johnson is second and charging. Into the elbow goes the race leader, the minutes ticking away, but his drive just as smooth. Johnson in behind Crosby, who already finds himself with minutes remaining up into 4th position. But the Mustang driver is not letting up. The Wolf Adams Toyota, an incredible 3rd position. Longhurst at 130 plus miles an hour. But Johnson's back in the pits. This is unbelievable. Dick Johnson never seems to be able to make it here at Pukekohe, Queensland's #1 son and a national hero. Chatting with Denny Holm. It could well be the gearbox again. Down it goes. Johnson remains calm. That is the measure of the man. But where did it all start for Dick Johnson?
Oh, I think when I was a kid, mate, I used to, when I was 8 years of age, I used to drive a car. And from there on, I think the interest just grew and grew until such time as I knew exactly what I wanted to do by the time I was old enough to get a licence. Seems to be an awful lot of animosity between Ford and Holden, although I did start off in Holden's many years ago, but I wasn't really known at all then. But we've got a bit of a name in the Fords, and I think that's the way to go, because to me Ford means first on race day. The Falcon was a fantastic motor car. It was so quick that you could light the tyres up sort of thing at 100 miles an hour. It just had so much horsepower.
But why Australasia and not Europe for Dick?
Well, I think you've really got to conquer your own dunghill first. And, you know, they say, who the hell are you when you go overseas? I suppose you may as well be the bottom end of the Kings than being with all the other turkeys, because it's a very difficult game anywhere in the world. And besides that, Australia and New Zealand have the most competitive touring cars in the world.
And so in the final laps, Tony Longhurst in the Archibald BMW, the race almost in his belt. Dick Johnson still hammer down in 2nd position in the John Andrew Ford Mustang. An incredible 3rd position overall for the Adams Wolf Toyota. Graham Crosby and Lou McKinnon up to 4th position in the BMW. And in the New Zealand assembled classes, 1401 to 1500cc, car number 81, the Dave Slater Ed Lamont Ford Laser Sport. 1501 to 1800cc was the Irving Christie Toyota Corolla GT. 1801 to 2000, Neil Allport and Roger Freeth in the Mazda 626i. 7th position overall. 2001cc and over, the Mitsubishi Cordia Turbo, driven by the Auckland Gardner brothers. but a few laps remaining, the pace still remained hot amongst the New Zealand assembled cars as Tony Longhurst whittled away the closing laps. But Dick Johnson, Queensland's #1 son, kept on charging. Laurie Powell, the official starter here since 1964, has the checkered flag ready. The 20,000 people got what they came for. Brilliant racing, and Tony Longhurst takes the 1985 Benson and Hedges Saloon Car Classic.
I feel pretty second-hand. My ears are ringing and I'm hanging out for a drink, I can tell you.
How's the car gone all the way through, Tony?
Unbelievable. You just can't believe how strong these BMWs are. I've only driven them this year. I've finished every race I've been in. They're just unbelievable cars. The brakes were a bit second-hand towards the end, but other than that, it was unbelievable.
And what about the circuit now at the end of 6 hours?
Oh, it's a horrible circuit. You've got to work too hard. I'd rather do 12 hours at Bathurst, I think.
A cheque for $5,000 awaits the Johnson Chrysler Mustang. An incredible performance after all the problems they've had.
Just stupid things. You know, it got stuck in low gear a couple of times. And I don't know what else happened. Some other damn thing. But anyway.
How's the car at the end of 6 hours now?
Mate, the engine, everything's brand new, except for the gearbox now, and then gets caught in low gear. It's ace. Brakes are good, handle's good. Can't do any more.
Paul Adams and Alan Wolfe in the Toyota Corolla, first in the 0 to 1600 Group A and third overall.
We're very pleased with the little car. It just kept on going round and round. We had a minor problem when the bonnet pin actually snapped, and we had to call in twice unnecessarily to put another bonnet pin in. But apart from that, we had no problems with it. It was a really good charmed run.
And in fourth position, taking the checkered flag, Graham Crosby and Lou McKinnon in the BMW 635. They lost an incredible amount of time earlier on. Tony Longhurst brings in the race-winning BMW 635 CSI. Both he and co-driver Trevor Crowe having trouble getting the champagne to flow. Some would say that the lack of flow was perhaps a little retrospective against their win with the high attrition rate in this year's Benson and Hedges. However, after 6 hours, to finish first you must finish. Winners of the 1985 Benson Hedges 6-hour endurance race, Trevor Crowe and Tony Longhurst, Archibald BMW 635 CSI.
So, 2 wins in 2 years for the thoroughbred BMW 635 CSIs. The emergence of 2 new Group A saloon car drivers in Trevor Crowe and former motorcycling champion Graham Crosby. Our next motor racing coverage will be on January the 5th, the New Zealand Grand Prix at Pukekohe. And don't forget the Nissan 500, a 2-day telecast on January 25 and 26.